Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more updates. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is showing on your screen as well. Thank you. Today I want you to join me listening to what Honorable Yalley has to say about the election and what he is expecting the next time, or what he is expecting forward when JM starts work. And he also assured Ghanaians that Nana Addo will be the first president to be investigated and they will not give protection to any NDC MP when he or she fails to be held accountable. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said. And it's very true about his statements. No one should be left out. If you are found culpable, the law should deal with you. And I'm happy with what he said. And also advise them to live or to rule as if tomorrow is an election. Powerful, fantastic. Without much time wasting, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. Thank you.
For conversation, and this is a story we've actually picked from the front page of the Insight newspaper. If you grab a copy of today's edition at any newspaper stand, you'll find the story on there. It's just 4 Ghana cedis, and also you can visit the insightnewsonline.com to read the stories and many other stories that you are going to find very, very interesting. Ghana's new dawn, high expectations for Mahama's second term. Ghana's new dawn, high expectations for Mahama's second term. This is the story, the third story that we are discussing on the show this morning. And I'm going to once again start with Ambassador Yalley. Would you say that we have overblown expectations? Because already there was this message I got right now saying that he expects the price of cement to come down to 30 cedis. Kenke should be sold at 1 cedi. I mean, all of these are things that people are saying, but in reality, for me, I know that's not going to happen. But of course, the Ghanaian people do have very high expectations of the president-elect.
Well, I totally agree with the editorial position of the Insight that we are in a new dawn, but Ghanaians have a lot of expectations, mainly because of their own challenges before the elections, and also what the NDC is sort of told the electorates that if you vote for me, this is what I'm going to do. So people are really expecting things. For example, we spoke about prices of items, inflation, and many more. And let's note that this expectation is not new after every elections. I remember driving around the circle and somebody banging his hand on my car, pop, 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 pop. And I said, what's this? Oh, now that you are out of office, we are going to marry. As if the NDC was the reason why, during Akuffo's time, the NDC was the reason why they are not going to marry. But I have also cause to believe the sincerity of the expectation. Having come under a government that cared only about itself than the people of Ghana, they do have a right to express such anxiety. Look, bless. You finish school with your colleague and you are staying at home with your previous senior brother and junior brother sisters behind you, all at home. Then you see some Yalley's children, right, who you left school with, all being employed under what they call protocol, isn't it? What can create apprehension than this? That we all left school, but because your father is connected, you are recruited. You see what I mean? Then again, workers, the vanguard of the people. A worker's minimum wage is about 13 cedis, now it's about 23 something. Bless, and that cannot buy a loaf of bread. You know, some breads in some places are 30 cedis and that. Yes. And the worker, how much is the worker's salary? All other things were rising, being increased. Inflation is on the increase, the cost of living is on the high. Every other day, petrol prices are increased. Even 2 days before the elections, petrol prices were increased. Now, I was wondering how Nana Akuffo Addo would think that with a stable or, well, salaries confined, how Ghanaians were going to get money to live. You know, so even though people may not think that the next government would solve all the problems, they said, let me leave, let us vote to get this government out. I remember last time I was cracking a joke here with you that for me, after 7 December, what would let me sleep in the morning well is that I'm not going to hear the name of Akuffo Addo as a president. That for me is my relief. Because he represents everything bad about a government. I was little, but I learned and I know more about Kwame Nkrumah. So if you compare Kwame Nkrumah and Akuffo Addo, you see God and the devil. The man who will be saying things and doing directly opposite. We won't go to IMF, the following day you are there. Yet Tisikasu come there, not knowing that you are just, getting ready to take everything for family and friends. Bless, we did not have the chance to read the document called Ijapede. You have read that Ijapede document. If you review it, I know you are a scientist, I'm a research person now. Review that document and see whatever had happened to us as a country. When the PDS failed because of Baumia's corruption, you know what they brought? Then they brought in Hoptel to sit on ECG and siphon Ghana money in the energy sector to themselves. When Ejapa royalties, that was going to mortgage our loans forever, failed, then they brought in what? Gold for oil. Bless, Ghanaians have suffered. But you know something? A friend of mine, a classmate of mine who lives in Angola, now cannot even speak good English. He said, Sam, where's Rollins? I said, oh, Johnny Rollins is dead, oh. So that's why these things are happening. Because he in Angola can't just understand why Ghanaians should be enduring all these things, yet we don't go take up to the streets. You are going to just vote. Vote, or you get up from your house, you are going to vote. The next moment you are in the fridge, a dead person, you have been shot. The president doesn't say anything about it. Your husband wake up, he's going to bank, he's going to work in a bank, UT bank, right? He comes home, face, crest falling. What is it? They have dissolved our bank there and they have sacked us. And they're sitting on television telling your wife that, oh no, we are going to put all of you under the CBG. The wife knows that you are going to CBG, but the husband knows that you're not going nowhere. So just by one policy decision, Akuffo Addo creates so much unemployed skilled labor. We sat down and look at him. Auditor General brings report that look, Oslausu has put a company on telecom, between the telecom, called revenue assurance. The people are not doing anything more than what the system, Suba and the rest were doing. He takes about 148 million CDs, I'm told, a month, free. As if that is not enough, the president himself and his cronies put SML, you know SML, to also siphon our GRA money. will keep quiet. The people keep quiet. And many, many more. If I'm going to cite what Akuffo Addo has done to this country and against the people of this country, bless, people will get angry and take to the street and go and attack him. But that's not what I'm advocating. But I think Albertus, my friend in Angola, has now been answered that Ghanaians, in the words of Kwesi Pratt, we defeated the British, the colonial master, we defeated them. And like him, I was confident anytime he said that the people of Ghana was going to defeat these local colonial masters. Without bullets, without violence, but with our thumb. Today, see what has happened to them. See what has happened to Akuffo Addo. And I am happy that within the 3 years, his immunity has not started. Akuffo Addo will be the first president to be investigated. And if found out of all the crimes that people are talking about, the president, incoming president, should not look at him as a friend that I'm going to consult to. He should jail him. So that future president will know that, look, president can be jailed in other countries, isn't it? So we can also jail our president. Look at Ken Oforiatta. With all the sins he has committed against this country, remove him and make him African ambassador for your ambassador of financial transactions. Bless, today if you go to the Roman Ridge airport residential area, Laboni, the impunity, government bungalow is there. There's a developer who, under the guise of PPP, comes all of a sudden, he cordons off. You go to office, by the time you come, there are security men at your gate, and they are telling you that tomorrow we are going to break your bungalow. If you resist, they beat you up. And look at, if you go to Roman Ridge was used to be pristine, with greens. That developer has turned Roman Ridge into concrete forest. The buildings he is putting up, no car parking, no space for emergency, nothing. All he is putting up. So we want to know, what kind of arrangement did the Ministry of Works and Housing, for instance, enter with, and Lands Commission, enter with just such a developer that had the courage to demolish our DVLA. You know that DVLA, that space, to demolish it and build some hen coops far away. When the DVLA was there, from Dansoman, I know where I'm going, right? Now I have to go through Hachu, Atomic to Hachu. Was the president thinking about us as a country, or was thinking about how to enrich himself and his family? What about the COVID? Today, we are still, if you go and buy one papaya, and I'm not promoting papaya, but if you go and buy any food for your children, bless, the taxes you will see. And people pay taxes freely when they believe that their taxes are going to be put into good use. Not so. But in Ghana, do they put your taxes in good use? The roads in the plush areas, like Roman Ridge Airport residential area, they have good roads. This government overnight will come and put asphalt. Then they'll come and put asphalt and calculate it and say we have constructed 12,000 kilometers of roads. This is the country this Akuffo Addo has left us. The expectations, insight is very right. People are really expecting Mahama to act. And some of the expectations are not personal. Right? Expectations like cleaning our water bodies. A wicked president, such a wicked president, deciding to, legalize and give an executive instrument that people can mine in our forest reserves, knowing very well that those forest reserves are the sources of our water bodies. Then he goes to take money from the World Bank that he's going to plant trees. How much money haven't we spent on tree planting? All these are going to be probed, I'm sure. And like yesterday, a friend of mine said, Sam, you are a lawyer. What is going to happen when their people are still parked in the court? I said, look, God is not a fool. We still have the regional tribunals, the regional tribunals in the Constitution. It's a matter of reactivating them to deal with these people who willfully and knowingly decided to destroy our economy. These people who willfully pretended that they were giving our children free education, right? To dupe us, to give our children rotten rice. There's so much to deal with. But I'm hopeful that within 120 days that John Mahama has promised, the expectation of the free betting tax, the Yalley levy, and all those things will be dealt with. Because Ghanaians, John Mahama, listen to me. Ghanaians have given you such a majority in parliament. They gave you MPP majority, NDC minority, right? Then they gave you balanced parliament, which call what? The equal size, hang parliament. Now they are giving you, John Mahama, super majority, with the expectation that you will right what is wrong. You will clean our water bodies, right? You would give our children better and quality education. You will not tell us lies. Paid communicators come on air to lie. Paid communicators, when they are talking, they talk as if the world is coming to an end and they are the only people who are going to school. Look, we have anger. Even me, as an old man, I have anger in me. Because my medication, which used to be just $700 cedis a month, has now gone to about $1,500. So if I have not made savings, bless, what would have happened? Now even the savings I have made and I've put in the bank, Akuffo Addo overnight puts a law that they should use my money to pay for the borrowing by him and his cousin, which they have used for themselves. We live to see. I also have expectation of my own government, and to tell the president that we will not give protection to any NDC minister who would decide that he's not accountable to the people. We will not. I urge my government, the incoming government, that we would have to live as if tomorrow is an election day, by doing what is right to the people. If you bring a policy and the people are happy about it, it's easy to implement. We don't want to see GDP. We don't want to see just so. We want to see gross national happiness. You understand what I'm saying? A policy that makes people happy. That's what I also expect of my government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Sam Yalley. Let me do a few messages before I come to Comrade Pratt. Samson Vance Zameku says, good morning, bless. Is it true that some big mouths of the MPP are already on the run, losing their passports at the Heathrow airports in the UK? Asembeba Debi, Sami in Adenta. Thank you, Sami. I love maturity, discipline, and passion that the NDC is portraying. I'm happy with the impunity, fear, suffering, enslaved, and hardship that Ghanaians have been through for the past 8 years under the NPP. I'm happy that all of these are over. I know Mahama and the NDC can do it and do it better. The freedom is here again. Thanks to the Almighty God, Ghana shall work again. Gaddafi from La Paz sent this message. Good morning, bless. NPP is a true representation of true suffering. Ghanaians are completely relieved from suffering in the absence of Nana People's Party. Okay. This one here says that the arrogance of the Akuffo Addo and Bawumia government, as well as the entire NPP caucus, is the reason Ghanaians voted them out. And God, if you think about the power Mahama has at the current moment, if he's able to set things right, the NPP will remain in opposition for several decades to come. Mahama has the ultimate power to right so many wrongs. Akuffo Addo has gaslighted Ghanaians for so long, and his arrogance supersedes anything I've ever seen before. Blatant lies and thievery. Pat from Oyarefa Teiman. Thank you, Pat. I'll do this final one. Then I'll come to Comrade Pratt. It says no media house is talking about this one. University graduates voted against the NPP government. The NPP initiated a recruitment process for teaching positions, but to this day, the process remains unresolved, with applicants still in limbo. Please, Taza Felix says, I remember how Dennis Miracle Abaji insulted Comrade Pratt on one of the radio stations. I mean, how could that have happened? Alhaji Haruna Shaiman says, bless, where is Polado Moche? Ha ha ha, who born dog? Finally, good morning, bro. The National Democratic Congress under the leadership of JDM, I think you sent this one through WhatsApp, and I've already done that. But we still have a little time to discuss our final story. Mahama to renegotiate IMF World Bank deals, and according to him, this adjustment is essential and will assist in positioning the new government set to be inaugurated next year alongside our development partners to initiate the rebuilding of the economy and the nation. Ambassador.
Bless. Where we find ourselves now, to stabilize ourselves, we need to need a lot of renegotiations because we are owing so badly. I remember myself telling you the other time that when the IMF is pushing you, they are pushing you to fail. You said I should explain. You remember that day? Because we were expecting the IMF bailout. Have we been bailed out? Have we been bailed out? We have been put into more debt. So perhaps the first thing His Excellency John Mahama would want to do is to look into the contract with IMF and look at where we can negotiate where need be so that it can ease the stress on our economy. But I'm not a believer in the IMF system. I don't believe in it. Because I know that its foundation is to make more money for the Americans as the owners of the bank. They call it International Monetary Fund. But please, don't be fooled. It's all an American enterprise. I am looking forward with the kind of momentum behind His Excellency John Mahama now to look at things like reducing food inflation. Never mind that we went through a program of planting for food and jobs, spent more than $2 billion on that program, and we are still importing tomatoes. I am looking for the kind of mobilization that Jerry Rawlings did when we were in such crisis. The kind of mobilization that Achampon, you know Achampon, Operation Feed Yourself. Today, everybody will go to the supermarket and is looking for tomatoes from Italy. I want that kind of mobilization. Whoever will be appointed as a minister of agri is not going to be a conference chairing or conference speech-driven minister. That minister should be able to mobilize the whole of the country to know that, look, we have to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. That's the only salvation. Because, see, the amount of money we spend on importation of food is devilish. So can't we even plant tomatoes for ourselves? Can't we even plant onions? On the way to Cape Coast, you see by the right side, onions all from Burkina Faso, a desert country. Yesterday, I saw Burkina Faso open their first tomato processing factory. We have run one district, one factory in this country, spent so much of the taxpayers' money, And our only answer every day was a coffee juice. There's so much expected of this. But I am not thinking that Ghana should depend on the structures that has brought us here and that are not capable of moving us from here. What can move us from where we are is a total mobilization of our people to attack the soil and grow food. If you go to these bungalows these days, even the trees that cover us are being cut. But in those days, you know the GBC, the frontage of the GBC were all cabbage farms. Along our roads were all vegetable farms. From Tema to Akosombo on the Afenia road were all vegetable farms. Where are they now? You're driving by the roadside, you think you are buying onions from the farms. They are all imported. How could he have left and lived in a country like this? Even chicken, bless. Spend how much money on imported chicken, frozen chicken, and sometimes the chicken looks like a vulture. The big ones, you see, I fear to eat them. It's time to do our local production. Convert our cocoa to something else than just exporting the raw cocoa. Yes, I am telling you that Ghana has the capacity to turn itself around. If you stop this neo-colonial thinking of always thinking that the IMF and the Western countries should be our development partners. The development partners are ourselves. Our development partners should be our African brothers and sisters. If you join Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, we are a strong force, isn't it? We can feed ourselves. We can trade among ourselves. Let's stop being a second-class citizen, a second-class country. When you have said that something was told us we are capable of being our own selves. Let's go back to the principles of our champion. Let's go back to principles of Kwame Nkrumah, principles that have worked for us, and not come and sit down again so foolishly expecting some 30-year-old American boys and girls to come and talk to us how our economy should be run. That is absolutely madness.
Right. Thank you very much. Ambassador Sam.
Once again, I say thank you for staying tuned, and thank you for your patience on the channel as well. Please do stay tuned because we have more in store coming your way. Subscribe if you are a new member. Turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified daily of any notification or any information that will be loaded onto the channel. Thank you. Stay blessed.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.